Okay, today I get the honor of talking to not just one, but two prior pre-launch plan program students. And I am so happy to be here with Valentina. And actually, Valentina and I got the opportunity to meet in real life last year at Copy Chief. So it's extra special, especially because you live in Romania, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, in Romania. So she came across the world and we met in Nashville, which is funny. And and so Valentina, tell people who don't know you what you do.
Yeah, so I'm a copywriter and I work in health. As a chronically ill person, I wanted to like help other people in my situation find the best solutions for them. And I've been working with a great supplement company who makes incredible products. And we've been working for the past 5 years on growing their brand to 9 figures this year. So, yay.
Wow. That's amazing. I didn't even realize it was that big of a supplement brand. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when we started working together in 2019, they were just known in Australia, and now we operate on 4 different continents, and we're pretty big. So it's been great.
it's amazing. And so because you are a copywriter then, like what made you interested in the pre-launch plan program? And had you done a pre-launch before since you work in the copywriting and strategy area, if you will?
Right. So a huge part of our brand's growth has been launching new products and new bundles, and I've written like more than a dozen launches for them, like full launches for cold traffic and warm traffic and everything A to Z. And I've been incorporating pre-launches more and more because our products are getting more and more specific. And so I needed to educate people on those specific issues before we launched the product. And the reason why I started doing pre-launches was because our launch emails were getting like ridiculously long because I was trying to explain everything in the launch emails, right? And I only had like 7, 10 of them tops. So I had the idea, okay, let's do a pre-launch where I educate people. And when I saw your product, your program, I was super stoked that I could finally get structure for my pre-launches because I had a clear process for the launch, but I felt like I was guessing my way through the pre-launch. With every launch, I was like, what do I need to write in the pre-launch to make the our future customers understand why this product is valuable? And I wanted structure, and that's why like I jumped in the product in your pre-launch program without even thinking twice.
Yeah, it was great. And I think it was so cool too, because this is something, people will ask, does this work for, like a product-based business? And I think you're a great example of how you were able to take everything and apply it to these products that you're putting out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like I don't know a lot of other brands that do pre-launches, like who sell physical products, especially in our industry. Like the only pre-launch they do is like new product coming soon, and they have like a blurred image or something. And that's, it's not creating anticipation and desire, and it doesn't help people understand why they need the product in the first place, or help them make the right decision. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to learn how to do better, I guess.
Yeah. And can you talk a little bit too, like once you got inside the program, like did you get that structure that you were looking for? And what was your experience overall?
Oh, so I got a lot more than that. Like I was expecting to get like a structure for pre-launches and a few templates. I knew that I would have that inside the program, and I'm not a big fan of templates, but your templates are so easy to change to whatever you need. Um, and I really loved that more than I thought I would. But what I got out of the program, like the most, actually two things. One, the calendar. Like the calendar blew me away. So I don't know if
You're the second person that said that today.
okay, great. Okay. So here's why the calendar is amazing. Like I don't know if anyone can resonate with this, but like I work with the like maybe 7 or 8 other people on the marketing team to implement whatever I write. And no matter how well we all plan that together, it's like inevitably we end up working against the clock. It's like, oh my God, 2 weeks until the launch, and we don't have this, and we don't have that, and we should have prepared this. And that calendar just completely changes things because you know exactly who needs to work on that and on what and when. So that changes everything. And it helps us be more calm during a launch. And you'd think that's not possible, but it is. I didn't think that was possible, but it was. And it helps you work well with anyone, even new people. Like if you bring them into your team, they will manage to integrate into your launch process so much easier once you use the calendar. So that helped me a lot. And the second thing, and the biggest thing for me, was that it completely changed the way that I saw messaging. Um, and I didn't think I would get that out of this program. Like my idea of a pre-launch was let's educate people. Let's tell them how this works and what the problems are and get into the pain points and the benefits and then you introduce the concept of belief shifting content. And I'd read emails that you wrote, like that you write to your list about belief shifting content. And I thought I knew what that was about. And then when you taught that inside the program, it was like something clicked in my mind instantly. I was like, oh, now I understand what that really is, right? And it's a whole experience. Like I'm sorry, but I can't really explain what it's like. It's just it creates a belief shift inside your own head, and then you suddenly understand the difference between educational content and belief shifting content. And it changed everything for me because I understood that writing belief shifting content serves future customers the best, and that's what I want to do, right? That's why I am a health copywriter, to help people make the best decisions for them. And when you educate people, it's first of all, it's a lot more boring to write and to read.
Right?
But right, it is more boring. It's
Yep.
information basically. But when you write belief shifting content, the way Brenna teaches, because she has a structure for that as well, right? When you write that type of content, it just empowers the person to make the best decision for them and understand if what you're selling might help them truly. It also helps understand them more, themselves, like their own issues and what they might want, how they might want to solve that problem. So I got to write the last launch that I worked on last year. I got to incorporate the belief shifting content, and it was easier for me, and it also happened to be the most successful launch we'd had in over 8 months.
Wow.
Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, it was easier to implement as well because I was all prepared with everything on time this time. Um, and yeah, it was great.
Yay.
Yeah,
It makes me so
like it
happy.
makes a difference.
It does make a huge difference. So a couple things I want to go back to what you talked about. So first, like the templates, like I call them like non-templatey templates, right? Like I want to show you a structure on how to write forever, not how to take one template, right? Like one template might be okay, it might do fine, but it's one template for now. Like the way I show you through the templates is to give you a guide on how to do this. So for, in case you're not a copywriter like Valentina, then you're able to actually keep doing this again and again. So I love that. I love the calendar. I know it's weird. I say it all the time, like on podcast interviews, like we all think we plan, but we don't plan as well as we thought we planned. And then especially if you're working with a team, and even for me, like I'm a team of one, but I have contractors that come in and help me do various tasks. And it's like even just getting organized enough so I can have my tech person set up the automation and the abandoned cart email, have my assistant do the contracts. Like there's a lot of moving parts, even when you're a team of one. So I agree, like the whole planning and system and calendar, it was really important to me. And it's like the first thing that I do on any launch is like, let's whip out the calendar and like get our head on straight. And I also think it helps future planning because now it just changes the way you think about planning in general. And the belief shifting content is in such a, like, I don't want to go into it because that's what we teach in the program, but if you're wondering, it's just this subtle nuance that people don't realize that they spend a lot of time educating and not a lot of time helping, like you said, belief shifting, and not belief shifting, like helping the right person tune in and go, oh, this is for me. Like I haven't thought about this. And because when we do too much educational content too, especially in AI, right? Like you can get information anywhere at any time, but when you can change someone's mind, give someone a new perspective, help them understand themselves better, help them see the world differently, like all of these things, it becomes valuable content. And it also, like you said, is a heck of a lot more fun to read as a person and to write. It allows you to be more creative, and it's not just these like, three things to do X, Y, and Z. It just changes the way. So I love that you said that.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing about the templates, something that I really liked was that you can use it again and again, and that you can write original content every single time. Like, because normally, like maybe you launch the same program every year, and you don't want to send the exact same emails. That's perfectly okay. You can still use the template and write original content every year. So that's a great thing about it.
Yeah. And so is it something for like the future that you'll be using again and again in these different launches that you're doing?
Yeah, exactly. Like now, we're going to incorporate more. The pre-launch is going to be a part of every launch, for me at least. And I can use these templates and this structure to create original content for maybe the same products if we relaunch the same product or new products. Yeah.
Yeah. And we didn't even talk about this, so hopefully it's okay. Like we also talked a little bit about even, and so on top of that in the program, so not only do you get to use it for your clients, but we started to come up with ideas for a different offer for you personally. And I think that's one of the benefits too. If someone's a copywriter and has their own offers, that you can double dip and be using the same process for both things.
Yeah, absolutely. So I used the structure and the templates and the calendar for my clients' launch because I haven't launched anything of my own yet. But with Brenna's help, I managed to come up with this pillar post that basically relaunches my business and tells people exactly what I do, what I can do for them, for other supplement company owners. And if I weren't in this program, I probably would not have come up with that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you do with that in the future. So if someone is like on the fence, they're thinking about it, like, should I do this program? Is it worth my money? That's the big thing. Am I going to get an ROI? Like, what would you say to them?
So I'd say that if you are in any way involved in launches, whether you are the business owner who launches their own stuff, or you launch things for clients, or you're marketing consultant, this should be a must because the pre-launch does so much of the heavy lifting, and it's impossible not to see your launch do so much better just because you designed this pre-launch. And it doesn't overcomplicate things, because that's what a lot of people think. Oh my God, I'll now have to do a pre-launch. No, it really simplifies things, and it multiplies the results of your launch. And yeah, and it's a lot simpler. Like once you have the structure and you have this paradigm shift, it all just falls into place. Yeah, and I'd say go for it. I did not regret it for a second.
Wow, I'm so happy. One last thing, I'm actually going to go back because there's something that you and I had, you talked about it here, and it was something I talked about in the Facebook group, but I want to touch on really quickly for people too, because a lot of people are like, what's the difference between like a launch email and a pre-launch email, right? And I think you said something about how your launch emails were getting really long. And can you explain to people what happens a lot of time with when most launch emails that kind of causes that issue?
Yeah, so when people launch something, whether it's a product or a program or whatever, or service, whatever it is, their launch emails end up looking like a sales page because you have so much explaining to do. And you're just barging into someone's inbox and you say, "Hey, I have a new service and I haven't told you almost anything about it." So you're going to sit here, like probably on your phone, and read a whole long ass email about it. And then maybe you'll also click the buy button. And that's not going to happen because people don't have the time or don't have the patience to sit and read huge emails about it. That's why the pre-launch does the heavy lifting, because when you start launching and sending launch emails, people already know what you're talking about and they already know if it's for them. And like this is the most important thing. Even if they're not sure, even if they're like, maybe I'm a 30% there, then your launch emails can like take them into one direction or other. Like, yes, this is 100% for me, or well, no, actually not right now. Um, but otherwise, you risk losing people during your launch if you try to cram all that information in like 7 to 10 emails tops while your card is open, and you're doing yourself and your potential customers a disservice with that.
Yeah, I think it's too, when you really get into it and really understand the messaging behind an offer, you realize how much needs to be said. And then you get to launch and you're like, oh, and I think that's a lot of times why launches don't do, there's so many different factors, but one of the reasons why launches don't do as well as we hope so far is because we're trying to get people up to speed on why they'd even want to do the thing. And then we have to sell the program with it. So when I say that, meaning like I would have to get you completely up to speed on pre-launch and why pre-launch is so important. And then I have to go into this long dissertation on why you even then want the program. So when you do the first part in pre-launch, all of a sudden you're just there to sell the program. Like it becomes such an easier, your launch emails become easier, the reasoning becomes easier. Like it just makes life a lot easier. You can spend a lot more time showing case studies and social proof because you're not doing all of that like heavy lifting, explaining beforehand. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that because it's something that I actually, for my own content, want to explore more in the future, because I think this is like a big missing piece that most people don't realize.
Yeah, like if we think about the stages of awareness, if you launch without a pre-launch, you have to take people from unaware or pain aware to ready to buy in one fell swoop. But if you do the pre-launch, then the pre-launch can cover the unaware and pain aware, and then you can even tease the solution. And then during the launch, you already have people who are aware of the solution, and then it's so much easier and faster to get them to ready to buy.
Yep. Exactly. So, well, I have loved our chat, Valentina. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for everyone who's watching. If you're interested in the pre-launch plan program, doors open up this Thursday, March 14th. And if you have questions, hit me up in the DMs. And thank you. I appreciate you taking time, especially Valentina's coming to us in her evenings. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Brenda. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.